such valuable insights. It is now time to launch this year's case study theme, the most awaited moment for all the aspiring participants. Let's have a look at the AV, please.
Hi everyone, welcome to Lessons in Marketing Excellence Season 12. This year is a different year. 2020 has forced us to adjust, adapt and evolve. And when the Lime team sat down this year on a video call to decide what's the theme, we were very clear. The Lime Season 12 theme is thriving in the new normal. The new normal is here to stay, and to thrive in such an environment, businesses really need to focus on 4 key elements. First, articulate the business horizon. Second, identify and understand your strengths. Third, focus on few but key issues. And finally, be future focused. Consumers have taken both hygiene and nutrition very seriously. It's their first line of defense against this dreaded disease. And this has meant that new categories are born, new brands are coming in, and new products are taking off. And this presents an opportunity for everyone in consumer business. My biggest advice to all the participants out there is keep it simple. Focus on few key issues. Go deep instead of going wide. Some other elements I would like you to focus on. First, identify your TG and understand what are their triggers and what are their benefits. Second, choose a brand carefully and choose it for its strengths. When this pandemic hit us early in the year, no one knew what was in store. But as the year panned by, we've seen so many changes. The way we work has changed. The way we study has changed. The way we interact has changed. And of course, this has meant that the way we consume has changed. We at HUL really feel that there are 2 spaces where we can serve the consumers and help them fight this pandemic, and they are hygiene and nutrition. Third, focus on getting consumer insights, the real ones, because great consumer insights will lead to great products and great campaigns. And finally, find a campaign idea which resonates with your TG, and that's the best way to take any product or any offering to the consumer. What does Lime mean to me? I was one of the participants of the earliest seasons of Lime, and one thing I remember about Lime through all these years is the focus on consumers, and that's what really matters. I think it's a great place for students to really experiment and really use their theoretical knowledge into something which is real time and real life. So all the best.
Moving on to our next speaker, we have Sudhir Sitapati, Executive Director and Vice President, Hindustan Unilever, to share his insights on marketing in the new normal.
Good afternoon, good evening. My name is Sudhir Sitapati. I'm the Executive Director for Foods and Refreshments for HUL, and I'm here to talk to you about marketing in the new normal. A week ago, I decided to give the excess Netflix watching that I was doing during the COVID crisis and get back to a good old-fashioned DVD. I had this copy of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, which was made into a BBC series 25 years ago. And I spent a few nights re-watching that series. Remember, it was a BBC television series made 25 years ago about a book that was written about 250 years ago. And what struck me while rewatching that series was how contemporary all of it felt, how the stories felt so relatable in today's day and age. Every character in the book and in the series, I could relate to a current person whom I knew, to a situation that I was involved in. And I realized how timeless Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice is. And just as Pride and Prejudice is an example of a great story that is timeless, good marketing and the stories that good marketing create is timeless. And it's times of crisis, it's important to remember that less changes than we think it does, and more remains the same. And so while I talk about marketing in the new normal, I'm first going to talk to you about marketing and only then about the new normal. Marketing is a new profession, but it's not a new vocation. We've had examples of great marketeers through history. Julius Caesar, Christopher Columbus, Nelson Mandela, they were all great marketeers, and I don't mean it in a pejorative sense. They were great innovators, great people, great general, but they were also great marketers. And they lived through periods of great crisis, often greater than the period of crisis that we're living through now. But the principles that they used in marketing are the principles that great brands use in marketing through history. And I identify those principles as three simple principles. First, identifying unmet consumer needs. Secondly, developing solutions for those needs. And then thirdly, telling compelling stories around their solutions. None of this changes during the period of COVID or the period after it. And let's take examples of each of these one by one. Let's talk about identifying unmet needs. The way to identify unmet needs is basically to have great consumer empathy, connecting with consumers on a day-to-day basis, constantly thinking about them, and then making connections in your mind, which are called insights. And this is the very first principle of good marketing, something that doesn't change in the time of COVID. For example, let's take our age-old beauty soap, Lux. Now, Lux discovered many, many years ago that when people imagine they met film stars, the first question they would ask the film star was, what's the secret of your beauty? And that's how Lux was born and marketed for many decades as the beauty soap of film stars, which gives the secret to their beauty to consumers. And so the role of meeting unmet needs through consumer insights and consumer connect is the first big task of marketing. The second big task of marketing is to develop products that meet these unmet needs. In the 1980s, Hindustan Unilever was selling shampoos in bottles. And we realized that there was a large market of consumers at the bottom of the pyramid who wanted a shampoo at a 1 rupee sachet. The only problem was that we could not afford to put the shampoo sachet that we sold in bottles into the small packs at 1 rupee. And even when we did, we realized that consumers didn't really like those products. And then we started understanding what it is that consumers at the bottom of the pyramid wanted in their shampoos. We realized two things: that consumers at the bottom of the pyramid had longer hair, and they would oil their hair before washing their hair with shampoo. So they didn't need expensive conditioning ingredients in their shampoo. What they instead needed was, tough cleaning ingredients. So we were able to redesign our shampoo by reducing conditioning, increasing cleansing for longer hair, and market it to lower income consumers at a price they were willing to pay. And that was an example of a product delivering an unmet consumer need. Or take the third example, which is of telling stories. Some of our brands have done great jobs telling stories about the products they sell for many, many years. Take Surf Excel, for example. Surf Excel started its early part of its history by talking about how good it was at removing stains. And in 2005, rather than telling people how well Surf Excel removes stains, Surf Excel moved on to telling stories to people about stains. And we came up with the idea that while for adults, stains are accidental, and they often don't like it, for children, stains are usually a consequence of learning. And we came up with the idea of Daag Achhe Hain, with the storyline which we've continued for 15 years of Agar daag lagne se kuch acha hota hai to daag achhe hain. So these three principles of identifying unmet consumer needs, developing products that meet them, and then telling simple, compelling stories don't change, and that's not going to change either during COVID or after COVID. So that's what's not going to change in the COVID period. Let's now ask the question, what is going to change? There will be temporary changes in the short run, and there will be long-term changes in the long run. We have to firstly be able to distinguish between them and act accordingly. And this will only come from continuous regular contact with consumers. Over the last several months, I've spent a lot of time along with my team not being able to meet consumers in their house, which is what we would do prior to COVID. So we've been having extensive conversations with consumers on Zoom and on Google Duo and on WhatsApp, but we've still not lost the touch with consumers. And that's the most important thing in the time of COVID, because if you're in touch with consumers, you'll know what to change and what not to change. What's changed in the time of COVID and what have we seen? One of the things we've realized in HUL over many years is it takes about 21 days for a habit to change. And we've had several 21-day periods since March 23rd. So you can be certain that some habits are going to change. I'm not Nostradamus and I can't predict what habits are going to change, but certainly a lot of us are going to work a lot more from home in the future and a lot less in office. We're going to travel a lot less and do a lot more meetings online. We're going to do a lot more of eating in and probably a lot less of eating out. We're going to be more involved in our food and in our cooking and in our health simply because we've been more involved in that area compared to where we were before. We're probably going to go less to the cinema and watch more movies on Netflix and other OTT platforms. So there's a lot of things that are changing. I want to give you all a few examples in HUL on how we have adapted to the changing conditions of COVID without losing the first principles of marketing. Let me talk to you first about unmet needs. And I have a great example here on Lifebuoy. And Lifebuoy realized that at the launch of COVID, that while Lifebuoy is a great soap for preventing you from getting COVID, all other soaps can do the same. And it came up with a very powerful campaign promising that the important thing is to wash your hands with soap, not necessarily Lifebuoy. So I'd like to first get all of you to see the Lifebuoy commercial.
लाइफबॉय की तरफ से ये संदेश जनहित में जारी है। कोरोना वायरस को फैलने से रोकने के लिए न सिर्फ लाइफबॉय, आपके पास जो साबुन हो उससे हाथ धोएं या अल्कोहल बेस्ड हैंड सैनिटाइजर का इस्तेमाल करें। आओ साथ मिलकर कोरोना वायरस को इंडिया में फैलने से रोकें।
So that was a wonderful, powerful piece of communication. All the first principles of marketing were here. Lifebuoy has always talked about germ protection. It's always talked about prevention of illness. This is not new to coronavirus. It's taken the new COVID context with a brilliant and provocative insight that every soap, not just Lifebuoy, can protect you from COVID. And I think that's a great example of taking an unmet need and adapting it to the COVID situation. Let me give you a second example of developing solutions that meet the COVID situation. And let me request you to see the Domex ad on TV first.
Coronavirus lasts on surfaces for days. Domex destroys coronavirus in just 60 seconds with the power of sodium hypochlorite to disinfect all surfaces. Domex kills coronavirus dead.
But we repurposed it in order to use it in the COVID situation with the insight that viruses last on surface and Domex cleans or kills the virus on the surface. And so here's a second example of a product doing exactly what it's been doing for all these years, but repurposing the product to meet the COVID need. Let me now talk to you a little bit about stories. Stories are the heart of marketing. Brands tell great stories about themselves. Take the example of Brooke Bond Red Label. For many years, Brooke Bond Red Label has been positioned on the idea of Swad Apne Pan Ka, where the idea has been that even prejudice cannot resist a healthy cup of tea. And let me show you an ad that we did in 2014 that got us onto this journey of how tea brings you together. Can I see the first Brook Bond ad, please?
चाबी भूल गए आप? आइए ना, हमारे यहाँ इंतजार कीजिए।
नहीं,
चाय की बहुत अच्छी खुशबू आती है इसके घर से।
तुम्हारे घुटनों में दर्द हो गया होगा, तो चलो अंदर बैठ के इंतजार करते हैं।
कुछ घरों की चाय में अपनेपन का स्वाद होता है।
एक कप चाय और मिलेगी।
जी, ब्रुक बॉन्ड रेड लेबल, स्वाद अपनेपन का।
A cup of a tea melting prejudice between two communities, a very successful launch ad for Brook Bond Red Label in 2014. And since 2014, the brand has consistently told stories of about how tea melts prejudice and brings people together. And sure enough, in the time of COVID, we didn't change the basic fundamental understanding of the brand or the story that it told. We simply changed the context of the story. Can I have the last Brook Bond ad, please?
आ गया अमित हॉस्पिटल से। देखो मैं कह रहा हूँ, महीने भर उसके घर से दूर रहेंगे, गेट के पास भी नहीं जाएंगे और सारी खिड़कियां बंद कर देते हैं। ये तीसरा कप किसके लिए?
अमित के लिए।
क्या?
उसे अकेले रहने के लिए कहा है, अकेला छोड़ने के लिए नहीं ना।
हम दूर रहकर भी अपनापन दिखा सकते हैं। ब्रुक बॉन्ड रेड लेबल, स्वाद अपनेपन का।
Thank you. So there you have an example of a story that was extremely consistent with what the brand did in the past, but has just adapted itself to the COVID situation and to the current prejudice that many of us should not be exhibiting towards recovered COVID patients or COVID patients. So these were three examples of brands that took fundamental marketing principles of either meeting unmet consumer needs through insights or developing great products or telling great stories, stuck to what they've been doing in the past and adapted it for the COVID situation. The world has seen many, many crises in the past, and every crisis that we go through, we think this is the biggest crisis we've faced. That's not true. There have been many of greater significance than COVID. And some great brands have come out of these crisis periods significantly better off. Let's take the example of Horlicks, a brand that HUL bought relatively recently. Horlicks was started in the 1880s as a product for convalescing patients and for infants, and that's how it was sold. During the First World War, it was realized that soldiers on the trenches in France needed a product that was dehydrated so that they could carry on fighting without having, to cook food. And Horlicks made its way to the trenches in France. And from the trenches in France, the soldiers brought Horlicks back to India. And Horlicks has then become a part of our social fabric for the last 100 years now. That was a brand 100 years ago that modified its proposition to a crisis and came out much, much stronger. So all brands that succeed in crisis look at these crises strategically. They don't look at it tactically. They have clarity on what changes, clarity on what does not change, and most importantly, clarity that good marketing does not change. And so my only thing that I'd like to conclude with to you is that the operating word in marketing in the new normal is not the new normal. The operative word is marketing. Thank you very much.